how do you think about what you've built and how that maybe does or doesn't apply in, different size communities? I mean, is this something you've thought much about?
Yeah, actually a ton.
Okay.
Probably too much. So I don't think we'll ever be starting one in a really large like metro.
Hmm.
Because I would rather, well, I think that there's enough stuff out there that kind of covers that it's not necessary. And I feel like it's like a meeting that just has too many people. Um, and instead, I feel like a more effective approach is to chop that up. So we've been in communication with a couple folks that wanted to franchise one of our like franchise fractals in their own community, and like some of them were like, there's like one he wanted to do it in London, and I was kind of like, I don't think I wouldn't just tackle that one. I don't think that's the
No.
right way to do. I would, you could chop that up though,
Yeah.
and then you have, that's like, what is it, 10, 20, 30, I don't know. You could chop it up that way. And and then each one of them is like its own, I feel like it's just the meeting metaphor is better. Like it'll be a lot better and more effective if you do it with a smaller group and
Hmm.
a small location. So that's how I have viewed it. Now, could you then aggregate it? That would be the way that I would probably do it. Is then just aggregate. Then you could put one that's like over the top and just aggregate from all the smaller ones.
Yeah.
And then you get like then if you so for those that wanted the broader information, then they could just subscribe to the
Yeah.
one that's aggregating between all of those.
I mean, I even just think about where I am, right? I don't know how many people know where I'm at in the like Leander area. So like, Leander is a town of 80,000, Cedar Park town of 80,000, and then Liberty Hill right above it is a town of 10. So it's like, I combine them to have a bigger audience, right? And because I go to all three cities frequently, so it's like everybody likes them. But there's also the huge downside of um, sometimes people don't want to see as much about the other communities. And the worst part is the name, right? So it's called Leander, but Cedar Park's a huge city with getting crazy attention right now. And it's not in the name. And a lot of people would just write it off because the name's not there. But I guess to your point, Salina is 60,000 or maybe even more with the outskirts. Say Cedar Park is 80,000. It probably could have justified, like Cedar Park alone would justify one of these. Leander gets its own, maybe even Liberty Hill, and that's a bit small, but maybe it gets its own. And then to your point, you have some sort of aggregator for people like me who are going to be like, I go to all three of these all the time. I would want to know what's going on in all of them. And then you just kind of have an aggregation on top, or you
Yep.
would subscribe to all of them.
Yep. And that's kind of how, so inside of like the dashboard that we have for fractals, like if you're inside of one site, then you can see the other communities. And so then you can just
Oh,
toggle
so
on.
that you could just toggle. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this
So
is
then you could just
really,
toggle on if you care about like the next community over, you'd be like, oh, I want that one too. And then you just toggle it on. And then, from us from like the franchise model, then it's like, oh, hey, now you can get subscribers from, the next.
mm-hmm.
Now, for Salina, it's like there's nothing really large enough that's close.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't really like, all
Yeah.
that well. But yeah, down like where you're
Like
at, yeah, that
it would
that
totally
would.
would. I mean, we get that now with, we have our other one in Round Rock, which I still go to over there too, because, all these, in these big cities, all the suburbs, you don't know which one you're in. It's just a random line, right? They all merge together. But with their two newsletters, we refer back and forth, right? Oh, if you sign up for Leander Scoop, would you also like to sign up for Round Rock Scoop? And a lot of people say yes to that, right? And vice versa. And they say it even more if it was, if they were smaller, right? Cedar Park to Leander, you'd probably get 80%, 90% of people would probably say yes if they saw that, right? So, yeah, no, man. I know you and I talk about this off the show, and we're gonna have to talk more about it. I feel like every time I talk to you, it gets more exciting.